WTCC. We're on board with Roberto Colgiago on the warm-up lap of race number 1. Peter Cox in pole position ahead of Nicola Larini. Fabrizio Giovanardi and Roberto Colgiago at the front. Start of race number 1. Cox goes into the lead, finally making a good start. Nicola Larini, Roberto Colgiago, Emanuele Naspetti, and Fabrizio Giovanardi right at the front in the sunshine at Emila. Round 6 Euro STC. Well, this is Fabrizio Giovanardi looking to get by Emanuele Naspetti for 4th place, and he does. So consistent in the first part of the year, Giovanardi. BMW crew looking a little bit nervous. Very, very close between Peter Cox and Nicola Larini. And also Roberto Colgiago going by championship front runner and taking the lead. Goes by Peter Cox. Very, very close, Colgiago and Cox. Nicola Larini behind. And Fabrizio Giovanardi battling it out with Emanuele Naspetti. Now Colgiago gets a good gap on the others. But behind him it's changed now. It's Fabrizio Giovanardi in 2nd place, ahead of Peter Cox. Key championship points there. Emanuele Naspetti coming through, and Nicola Larini. Well, first win of the weekend for Roberto Colgiago. And are they happy about it? As he celebrates. Championship position, still Giovanardi leading. We now go over to Misano, round number 7. Starting grid of race number 2, race 1, won by Gianni Morbidelli in the BMW, ahead of Peter Cox. Morbidelli gets away well in the BMW. Teammate Naspetti just in behind. Stefano Gabellini starting well. Roberto Colgiago up there again. Championship leaders, Cox and Giovanardi just a little bit further down. But Fabrizio Giovanardi gets by Peter Cox for 5th place, key championship points. But look out, Peter Cox is not going to let those championship points go lying down. He squeezes past Giovanardi. Great battle here at the front of the championship. Well, we didn't get the pictures of it, but Emanuele Naspetti manages to get ahead of Gianni Morbidelli, but Morbidelli retaking Naspetti immediately after, round the outside in the first turn. So just when Naspetti looked like he might get the win for BMW, Morbidelli puts him firmly in his place. 2nd win of the weekend for Gianni Morbidelli, ahead of Emanuele Naspetti. Peter Cox and Giovanardi take the next places. Much closer in the championship now. 186 points for Cox. 181 points for Cox, 186 for Giovanardi. Round 8 in Brno in Czech Republic. Peter Cox on pole position for race number 1. Gianluca Di Lorenzi qualifying his best position of the year on the front row. Giovanardi, Larini, Colgiago, Morbidelli, and Naspetti. Good start for Roberto Colgiago and Gianni Morbidelli. But Andrej Studenik goes off the track, the Slovakian driver. But on the damp circuit, Colgiago leads from Peter Cox. Managed to get by Gianni Morbidelli. Well, Cox now goes into the lead. Unfortunately, away from our cameras when he went by Roberto Colgiago. On the damp circuit, the Dutchman powering ahead of the 4-wheel drive Audi. Oh, and Gianni Morbidelli brakes very, very late and gets by Roberto Colgiago for 2nd place. But Colgiago battling back, looks to retake that position just a few corners later. Well, Cox seems to be leading easily, but a hot battle behind Roberto Colgiago. Gianni Morbidelli, Fabrizio Giovanardi not wanting to let Peter Cox get too many championship points. Giovanardi squeezing up the inside. Morbidelli joins him as they go by the Audi. So great battles behind the leader. Fabrizio Giovanardi, Roberto Colgiago battling it out here. Well, Morbidelli tries to get by to get Colgiago, but off the track for him. Final lap then, Dutchman still leading this race. Fabrizio Giovanardi now up into second place. Nicola Larini third in the Alfa. Taking advantage of the problem between Colgiago and Morbidelli, but the race is all about Peter Cox. Well, Cox leads ahead of Giovanardi. Nicola Larini coming in third, De Lorenzi in fourth, Colgiago and Aspetti fifth and sixth. Round 9 then, Valonga. Starter race number 2, race 1. Won by that man, Fabrizio Giovanardi on pole position. Nicola Larini was second. And great to see Johnny Ciccato back with the ICER BMW team in for Sandro Sardelli, but crash between Aspetti, Tarquini at the start. Again, bad start for Peter Cox, but he starts to improve. Gabriele Tarquini in for Honda. Well, second start now. And again, not a good one for Peter Cox. Well, Nicola Larini leads from Fabrizio Giovanardi. Great battle, though, between Peter Cox and Roberto Colgiago. Gianni Morbidelli and Emanuele Aspetti. Colgiago and Morbidelli, though, come together. Both managing to go, but a lot of places down. Well, all action. Giovanardi now attacking Nicola Larini. His teammate in Nordauto Alfa manages to squeeze through. Alfa team very anxious. You'll see it's the team chief. Well, no problem. Team Nordauto wins. Giovanardi ahead of Larini. Join us after the break for the conclusion of the championship. The European Series as we move to Slovenia for the final round of the Euro STC. Great crowd. Good to see motorsport in Slovenia, and this is going to be the championship decider. Peter Cox has to win, and Honda also bring Gabriele Tarquini and David Leslie along to help the Honda battle against the might of the Alphas. But Cox knows what he has to do. He has to win as we look at the championship points. First race, warm-up lap. Rained a lot before the race, and the track is very, very slippery. Colgiago was on pole position ahead of Emanuele Aspetti. Gianni Morbidelli, Nicola Larini, Gabriele Tarquini in the Honda. De Lorenzi, Cox, and Giovanardi a little bit further down than they're used to, but right next to each other on the grid. Well, an interesting circuit, great crowd. And tensions are running high between the Alfa and the Honda teams for the championship. Starter race number 1 then. Roberto Colgiago on pole position. Gets a good start, gets away well on the slippery surface in his four-wheel drive car. Well, first corner though, and we see a lot of cars going off. See an Alfa Romeo shoving a Honda, and it is Peter Cox off the track. He manages to get going, but he may have lost the championship right then and there. And Peter Cox complained immediately after. It was Fabrizio Giovanardi who gave him that tap. Roberto Colgiago leads, though, from Emanuele Aspetti and Gianni Morbidelli in the BMWs. Nicola Larini, the first of the Alphas. Right now, championship positions, Giovanardi is 6th, and Peter Cox is 10th, looking good for Alfa. Well, Colgiago manages to increase the gap over the BMWs. Giovanardi now in the championship running in 6th place, so his championship looking good. And looking to win this championship after race number 1. And Peter Cox really struggling. Tight, twisty track though makes it difficult for the Dutchman to make up for the difficult start of the race. Peter Cox having more and more problems. So the BMW team looking a little bit anxious there, and we see that's why Gianni Morbidelli trying to get by his teammate Emanuele Naspetti and spinning off, and they're not happy about that. Last lap then, Colgiago looking to take the win. Just behind, Peter Cox and David Leslie drafted into the Honda team. So Peter Cox nearly a lap down on the leaders. In 9th position, Fabrizio Giovanardi in a cool 4th place. They cross the finish line, and Fabrizio Giovanardi is champion. So Roberto Colgiago wins it. Title for Fabrizio Giovanardi. First European STC championship goes to him, but it's his 3rd consecutive title after taking the Italian championship 2 seasons in a row. Well, Giovanardi absolutely over the moon. And he spoke to us after the race.
It's good for everybody that work a lot of in the middle of the season. I think is wonderful because it's the 3rd championship that I win consecutive, and I hope to continue like so.
It was not too tough during the race, you think a lot?
It was difficult the first 3-4 laps, and then I see my Peter and Gabriele behind me, and I think it was finished.
Well, Peter Cox's Honda was a little bit damaged. We spoke to him also.
I think Giovanardi won the championship. In the end, he maybe deserved it. I think over the course of the season, we have showed we were quick. We had 7 pole positions, so we won 5 races. But we were not consistent enough. I was not good enough in the starts. I made 1 mistake in Enna. Then we had some mechanical failures, not to our fault. So in the end, he was the more consistent driver.
Well, a very sporting Peter Cox indeed. Just missing out on that championship. And a great championship it was. And of course, you can see every round of the Euro STC Championship next year. They will be brought to you by Eurosport live during our Super Race weekends with the GTFIA Series. Right now, this is Rob Murphy saying thanks for watching.
Death.